Everybody, it's
What's
Tuesday
up?
night.
Sound like Jimmy
Reseller chat. It's what we love to do. Got Jake over here. Jake,
playing
say
with his
hey to
phone.
all the lovely people.
Hi, lovely people. How are you doing?
Jake, we'll get into the winner in a little bit.
I know nothing about her. I'm sorry. I
listing
should have to do more
challenge.
research.
Gateway Picker was the first one in. Dory dropped in, so that was super cool. We'll see who else is going to join in. We know there's a lot of stuff going on YouTube tonight. It is Q4. Jake, how are your sales?
Oh my god. We are experiencing Q4. I did not expect it to happen to the used market resellers, but I am experiencing Q4, which is intense for me at least. I mean, me this small time 170 listings. Well, I got up to 180. 180 listings that are now back down to 170.
All right, come on, 200, man, make it happen. Make it happen.
I'm off tomorrow. Let's see if it happens. I am off tomorrow.
But everybody, thanks for tuning in, joining, hanging out. This is just what we do. There's Gateway Pickers. Yeah. We just want to just basically have fun tonight. We got some great people coming to join us. It's going to be a lot of fun. Even after this live's over, guys, I hope you have a plan to list and pack up your orders. We want your questions to come through. We want anything in the chat. Please feel free. Drop some comments. Let us know. But we do have great guests. Jake, you know, I've been getting to know these guys. Have you gotten to know them yet, Jake?
Not much. I have popped into their live just randomly, but I have not gotten to really know them. So I have a ton of questions.
No, but it's going to be a lot of fun. Like I said, we know, other stuff's kind of going on, but the cool part is it's Q4. It's a busy time of the year, but I say, hey, if you're a fun reseller, it should just be busy year round. That's just the way it should be. And I'm just excited. I've been moving a lot of stuff. I know you have. We'll get into that. We'll talk about that. But I want to definitely bring out our guest, introduce them to this community. Let's try Flippers down in North Carolina. Hanging out, staying busy.
Still down for me also.
Huh?
Down for me as well.
Yeah.
If you're in Florida, it's up.
If you're from Canada, you're north of Jake, so.
Yeah, that's true.
Jake,
well, you're north of everybody if you're from Canada.
Has New York gotten any better, by the way?
Regarding what?
Like, do you just see people out in the street again?
We see people out. Can we bring in our guests? They're going to sit backstage. They're not going to know anything that's going on. They don't have time to talk. We're talking about me. We'll talk later. We have time.
Anyway, we're just thankful. We're just excited to have our guest. We contacted them. They were able to connect, and you're going to see a lot of all of us chatting a lot this week. I'll let them talk a little more about that. What's up, Mary? Thanks for hanging out and joining. But guys, if everybody in the chat could give a very big welcome. Adam and Gary, maybe you don't know them by those names, but you know them as Two Dudes Pickin'. What is up, Gary? What's up, Adam?
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
How's it going, everybody?
How's it going? They were telling on you. Look, they're like, yeah, they're chatting up on Kat's channel.
That's what it was.
Busted.
Chris wasn't first today. Oh my gosh, Chris.
Appreciate you letting us come on the show, guys.
He's been selling too much plush. He's been too busy. He can't jump in lives. So yeah, take a second, tell everybody where you're from, a little bit about yourselves. I saw a little bit of your bio, but I'll let you guys introduce yourselves.
Sure enough, appreciate it. I'm Adam. Live in Columbus, Georgia, and I'm the one half of Two Dudes Picking. And I've been picking and reselling for about 5 years, and we do it part-time. I have a 9-to-5. We work at the same place, but this is just fun money for us. We do it in order to, like, I don't know. I like to buy electronics. I buy new TVs. I buy cell phones. I'm a big cell phone junkie, if y'all didn't know. I got to have the latest and greatest Android. And I'll let Gary go next.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm Gary. And I'm Gary, the other half of Two Dudes Picking, and I hail from the great state of Alabama, a small little town called Salem, Alabama. So very close to Auburn, Alabama, if anybody knows where that is. You know, War Eagle to any of my friends out there. Dude, you know where Salem, Alabama is?
Yeah.
I'm
No
surprised.
kidding. No kidding. I'll ask
I
how.
have no idea.
I've got to know how.
I used to go do missional work between the whole Southeast and kind of going over towards Texas.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I had a stop through in Salem. Yeah.
No kidding. No kidding. Talk about a small world, huh?
On good
Yeah.
terms.
A small world.
I've lived in Columbus in the area all my life, and I didn't even know where Salem was.
Yeah, Adam's only been to my house once, so yeah,
wow.
that's I think it was his first time being in Salem at that point.
It was. I drove through it, and it was like a tornado. I didn't even know I had passed it.
Can't make tornado jokes around here, man.
in the
This is
little
Alabama.
So cool. So you guys work for the same company.
Yeah,
Sure do.
we don't like to talk about that though, but yeah, we got the same 9 to 5. We started actually
Don't have to.
when we first met years ago. What was it, like 12 years ago?
It's at least that, yeah.
We worked together in the same department. We started playing golf together, and he apparently had been reselling for years before I even really knew it. And then for some reason on the lunch trip, he said, "Let's just stop by Goodwill real quick." I was like, "Why Goodwill?"
I'm about
Yeah, I
to
know.
take your world forever.
I know.
It's like I'm about to take
And
you to the
it's been
poison
so
well.
different
Yeah.
ever since.
So Gary, you pulled Adam into this world, man.
I did, and I have created a monster. Let me tell you. You know, now it's like we've got shows. You know, we've got podcasts. You see all the stuff behind him. I mean, I remember when he was buying, you know, a couple of like, you know, mall brand shirts and stuff like that, and saying, "Is this something I can make money on? Is this something I can make money on?" Or, "Hey, I've got this in my closet. What do you think about this?" And I'm
Man,
like,
I was trying to sell everything.
maybe. Yeah, yeah,
Don't
he was.
throw that out. I can resell that.
Right. And all of a sudden, you know, it's like, you know, we would go in to Goodwill and some of these different thrift stores together, and I would say, okay, look, you got to be a little bit more selective as to what you're buying. You know, you know, everything. I always say this, you know, when you're playing poker, especially when you're a beginner playing poker, everything looks like an ace. You know,
Oh yeah.
and it was the same thing going into the thrift stores. Is that every shirt looks good, every pair of pants. You say, oh man, they sell that at the mall for you know, $60 in Hollister. I can flip that. That's easy. You know, they're only wanting $4 for it. You know, so sort of you have to wean them off some of the other brands and sort of start looking for more home run items. But he's learned well. You know, the Padawan has learned quite well, and now he's teaching me a lot of stuff. So it's kind of flipped it back on its head a little bit there.
Yeah, we're trying to get Jake to stop buying the every impulse item that he finds at Goodwill. He's getting good. He's
We're
getting
trying. Still a work in progress.
Yeah.
At least he likes picking up stuff now, and I told him to go film his like dumpster videos. He lives in one of the best cities where they put stuff on the curb still.
Oh
you know?
my god!
It happens all across the U.S.
I should just take pictures of the dumpster. I should. You know what? Maybe my next Instagram live, I'll just go, here's everything you could see in the New York City dumpsters.
Yeah. Telling you.
Do it.
Well, also,
You don't want to pick it up for me.
No. Yeah, just ship it down to Adam.
I could take garbage bags, literally. I could tell you piles of garbage on the sidewalks because that's what it's apartment buildings. So they just dump all the stuff on the sidewalk.
The next episode of Two Dudes Picking will just be a bunch of trash bags behind Adam as you can see his collection slowly migrating toward his microphone.
Oh yeah.
You know?
I know
This is what happens when you pay. This is what happens when you pay a reseller to ship you garbage.
What's up to Jimmy? What's up to Ken? Thanks guys for hanging out. But yeah, Gary and Adam, question for you both, and it's funny because like you said, let's go to Goodwill. So think back on that day, and do you have the same thing? I know everybody says they buy everything. Adam, you alluded to it a little bit. Electronics, you got a knack for that. Gary, what's that thing for you? And Adam, what's that for you? What section can you walk into a thrift store and go, I got it. I don't have to comp it. I don't have to look it up. This is my bread and butter.
I'll go first, Adam, if that's all right. One of my big things that I look for is military gear. We live next to one of the largest army bases in the world at Fort Benning, Georgia. And so for us, there is such a wealth of military gear, not necessarily clothing, but like equipment, you know, vests, holsters, tools, whatever it may be. And so anytime that I find military gear, I'm always really, really drawn to that. And I know that I can flip it really quick because especially, during sort of times like these, people tend to gravitate toward those sort of items for preparedness or whatnot. So it's something that to me never goes out of style.
Right. And I'm right next to Fort Lee. So it's funny. Yeah.
Okay.
And I get to find the weirdest brands of stuff because they've moved here from another base somewhere else. And I find even non-military stuff, just the stuff they bring with them, leave with them when they leave. It's always great finds. What about you, Adam?
The items that I see every now and again that I know I just don't have to look up is I'm pretty good with golf clubs. Nothing like what you see other people do. I mean, there are some really great golf club resellers out there. There's not many to be found though in my area, but when I see them, like I know golf, I know which one I'm looking for, if that makes sense. If I see a TaylorMade, don't have to look it up. If it's in good shape, pick it up, put it in the cart. I don't know if I think it was about 3 weeks ago, I came across a bag full of great brand name golf clubs for only $10. The whole bag. There were 9 clubs in the bag. And I've sold all but 2 off. I got 2 of them right here, and I've made over $300 on them.
And that's good that even when you said it, it's a harder to find item, but guess what? The competition's not crazy for them because it's not an abundance. I look at like Case and some of those guys that are around an abundant amount of golf courses. Yes, there's a lot to pick from, but there's also a lot of people that know there's golf clubs to be found. So
that's why the prices at Goodwill for those are high.
Right. Somebody in your area is not going to sell these golf clubs like, I know people want them. Here, I'm going to price them at $90. They're just like, well, nobody around here is really playing golf. I'm going to toss them out for $10.
That's right.
That's right.
I love that. Same thing. What you're saying, Gary. You're like, who knows Salem? But because you're next to this big base, man, some of those smaller thrift stores, those mom and pop corner shops. Somebody feels the need to drop all their goods off at, and this person's like, I don't want to rip you off, but I'm going to sell you these boots for $1. And they're like, oh, okay. Poor me. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. It's sort of in a reverse way of that too. Here we have things like everywhere has yard sales.
He lives in Salem, y'all.
That's right. But because we have such a long season of nice weather, typically yard sale season tends to extend a lot longer. The problem is that sometimes people really know what they have, because of the advent of eBay and the way you can look up prices on Amazon and things like that. They have a good idea of what they're selling. And it's kind of like, one of the ideas that I had when I first started picking is I said, well, I'm going to go to antique shops. I'm going to go to antique shops. I'm going to find those really, really hard to find things. Well, the problem with antique shops down here is everyone loves antiques. And especially coming down here in the South, people decorate their house with antiques. And so there is really no wiggle room on anything that anybody's selling. And, usually you just end up buying it for yourself, or my wife takes it and puts it up in the house somewhere. So, there was that. So, yeah, the antique stores quickly became one of those lessons I learned. This is probably a no-go zone.
That's good.
Yeah.
Jake, I know you have a slew of questions, so please feel free.
Okay. All right. Most resellers, especially on YouTube, are either running solo, like myself, and some people are couples, like the Rev and Nikki. Just who came to mind. Over here, we got 2 dudes.
We're definitely not a couple.
You guys aren't together, right?
Yeah.
So what's the deal? I mean, is your business together? Is it just YouTube that you're doing together? How did this all come about? Why specifically together? You feel it's a niche, or?
See, I remember this one, Adam. I remember this. So, I mean, we've been buddies for a while. As Adam said, we kind of, met working in the same department. We had a lot of similar interests and things like that. And, how the sort of picking came around, as he alluded to earlier, is that, one day we were just going to lunch and said, well, let's swing by Goodwill. I want to see what they got in there real quick. The way that the whole YouTube channel came up is that one day, these things always happen at lunch, by the way. We're riding in the car and I said to Adam, I said, hey, I've been actually kind of, thinking of something, and let me know if you're thinking of it too, or you have been. And I said, what if we made a podcast? And that's how we sort of first talked about it. Let's make a podcast.
Right.
For how to pick, how to resell, how to do all that stuff. And so he was like, I was actually kind of thinking of doing the same thing. And so, okay, well, let's record some episodes and let's do this. And at first we sort of started doing it as a podcast only, where we would broadcast on YouTube and then take the audio part and then swap it over to where our podcast lived. And we found out that that we weren't getting as many listeners to our podcast as we were getting viewers on our YouTube. And so we said, well, maybe we're, playing around in the wrong playground. We're putting our focus a little bit more where it doesn't need to be, or at least we can be more effective this way.
Right.
Adam, is that how you recall it happening?
Oh, absolutely.
With a few modifications? Okay.
Yeah, when we still do our Thursday nights, I still take the audio only and upload it to our Anchor FM.
Yep.
And it distributes it to 10 different podcast platforms. And honestly, since we've actually been hitting it more consistently, it's skyrocketed on the audio and on the YouTube side, both of them. So
That's awesome. Hey, thanks, Chris. Chris was just sharing your link, guys. Also have a link to their channel in the description. Check it out. Check these guys out. You guys have been going for about a year now, right?
We started real slow because of the podcast thing, audio only. Right. It started in 2018, actually.
Okay.
Oh, wow. And and we recorded about 5 episodes over about 5 months.
Gotcha.
And then things started happening with our personal lives. So we kind of had to take a big back seat. Then we hit it hard this January. We decided to hit it like this year, 2020. We're going to hit it hard. I think COVID
2020 is going to be our year.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Great year.
I think that ruined every plan we had for it in 2020, to be honest with you, because like Gary was alluding to, we would go out almost every day on our lunch break, and we could probably consistently record every day if we wanted to.
Yeah.
But then when 2020 hit and everybody's working from home, so I'm an essential worker. I still go into the office at least 3-4 times a week, but Gary's not. And
you're actually looking at my office right now.
We never see each other hardly right now.
I appreciate that.
Right.
So that's why our YouTube videos, honestly, together are slim. But honestly, I have to blame COVID due to that, because there's no point in him driving 45 minutes.
Where do you live?
He's in Georgia.
Yeah, I'm in
Georgia.
Yeah, it's about 45 minutes from my house to his house.
Yeah, we live on 2 opposite sides of a river.
Our office is in the middle of both.
And that's how you guys met, obviously got together, because of the office in the middle.
Yeah,
that's right.
Gotcha. All right. So, but your reselling business is separate. I mean, you both have separate stores.
Yeah. They're just bringing the content together. They're just
more information.
Merge, quote unquote.
More information.
Yeah, that was kind of the idea when we first started this, is that we were going to use it as a way to educate people, based on the mistakes that we were making, based on the fact that we consider ourselves hobbyist pickers. I'm coining that phrase tonight, Adam, by the way. So if we want to use it, jot that one.
Picker.
So that's the thing, is that, we sort of said, well, we're not doing this full time. We still have full-time jobs. I think our original tagline was "Don't quit your day job," which is kind of funny now, because, we kind of look around at everybody that we're interviewing and everybody's quitting their day job.
Everybody wants to quit.
Yeah, that's right. And so
here we go again with this.
Yeah, it's like maybe that's really bad advice at this point, but
it is. I'm trying to yell at people not to quit.
Jake, they don't all live in New York, okay?
That's very true. That's very true. So,
but I still can't imagine. I don't know. Yeah, I can't imagine quitting my full time. I don't know. I can't. I can't fathom it. The benefits, the stuff. I can't.
I feel you. Without going into all the details, because it's there's professional life and then there's resale life, and I'm going to leave the professional life out of it. But we had an opportunity at the professional side of it all to make that decision recently. And I didn't even think about it for 30 seconds. I don't want to, because I enjoyed the cush of a 9-to-5. I enjoyed the health benefits. I've got a great job. I'm making decent money already. This is just extra money that I put to the side for cell phones. I actually talked about with my wife. I was like, next year I could probably pay off my truck with reselling.
Right.
Yeah, but you see, it's not only with that. If you're gonna come and make your full time your hobby, meaning your hobby, your full time, it's not a hobby anymore. It's work.
That's right. That's right.
And
Not if you enjoy it.
Personally, as I told Josh in the past, I'm not dedicated in the sense that I want to just go full at it, and I don't have to wake up at 9 o'clock. I'm not waking up at 9 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I need something to push. There are people who obviously can't make it, and obviously people who are forced into making it that decision anyway because either they're laid off or they can't continue working their full time for whatever sort of reason. That I get.
No,
but
guys, Jake's trying to
quitting.
sound all serious right now. He says, I have 3 daughters. He's looking for reasons to get out of the house. He's like, I have to escape. If I'm home all day prepping items and listing items, I'm going to have to work on art projects. I'm going to have to. No, but I mean, there's so much because I don't want to.
That's why I like shopping more than actually doing anything else.
Yeah,
but
I'm with you there.
I love what you guys said because I do want to ask that. It was one of my questions. One of the biggest things that we promote here is, I'm part-time. Jake's minimal part-time. He's got really crazy job schedule, stuff like that. I've been doing this. We've been pretty successful at it. Adam, I loved what you said. I love doing it. My full-time job is a calling, so that's something that's just embedded in me. But we've created this business so well that my wife gets to leave her job and take it over full-time, Mm-hmm. But the key word is, what's your goal? Why are you doing it? You guys have explained that really well. What's your goal, even as a hobbyist, to go, man, I love what you said, Adam, but maybe that was just something in your head. What's something that you're going, I do this because I want to knock out A, B, and C? What are your goals, Gary and Adam? Like, I resell because this is going to make this part of my life easier.
I'll go first. Let you think, Gary.
Yep.
Truthfully, my goal is to see how far I can take it and still keep it manageable.
Yeah.
Right now, that's just my goal.
Right.
I actually did use 2020 as a platform to determine how far can I push it and still have a family life where I'm not working 2 full-time jobs. Right. And I found a good sweet spot. And I'm still able to manage it. And I sell right now I'm selling maybe $300 to $500 a week, and that's it.
Right.
But that money's going into a bank account, which will be used in the future for things like I was talking before, my truck. I know, Jake, you and I had previously had a conversation about potential college funds and stuff like that.
Yep.
Why not? Right.
Yep.
I mean, I don't have to, if I can save up for 10 years before my son gets into college and I could pay his tuition just because I've been reselling as a side gig.
Right.
That's great.
Right. What about you, Gary?
See, I'm a lot more casual than what Adam's describing, which I'm not saying what he's describing is bad at all. I think that's great. I have very expensive taste. That's the thing. I like finer things. I have hobbies that take up a lot of money. I have Jeeps. I like cigars a lot. I like whiskey a lot. I like, shooting guns. All of these things take so much money. And again, I don't want to take out of the family budget to do this. That was kind of the thing, is that, my wife and I have this agreement. Whenever we got married, we divvied out our household expenses into sort of, different buckets. We budgeted. And one of the things that we budgeted out was individual spending money. And so we said, okay, once we get paid, you get this much money, I get this much money. It's your personal money. Whatever you do with it is great. You want to donate to charity? Great. Yeah. You want to go buy Ice House and scratch tickets? You rock on. That's your thing. For me, what I was doing is I was taking my personal spending money and I was reinvesting it by buying things at Goodwill. And so I said, well, I can take this money and I can, make it 3, 4, 5 times what I get every month. And then I can support the hobbies I like without having to detract from the family budget. And so, and it's funny, actually, my wife started doing it as well. So she saw value in that.
Saw the extra money. Wait a second here. Like, hey.
Yeah, something ain't right. Yeah. So for me, that's kind of what drives me. Is that, I like to live, by fulfilling different experiences. I guess that's the best way on how to put it. So if my Jeep can take me to the Grand Canyon and I can put the money in the gas tank through eBay to do that, then that's what I want to do. If I want to smoke the finest cigars in the world, that's what I want to do. And I don't want to feel guilty about it at the end of the day.
No, I think that's super smart. I was reading what Steve said. Yeah. Paying my son's college right now. I love that. And that's super smart. And that's what I love about reselling, especially with this community. Yes, there's all kinds of advice. We've all seen the ads. We've all seen what you can drop ship on Amazon. We've all seen the 10 lists that you can make to make $1 million in 30 days. But we like promoting like, hey, I want to be supportive of the goal. Guy Christopher, Dragon Home Value, comes to me. He goes, I sell maybe 10 things a month.
He's a nurse.
Well, I know, Jake, we're not this is not your time to vent about your hours, okay?
Crazy hours.
I supported him so much because his whole thing, he goes, well, it's COVID, but in non-COVID, I do this to take my wife out for a really nice weekend once a month. And I said, crush it, dude.
Yeah.
Like, if you can go spend, $200 to $500 a month just hanging out with your wife, so that's an awesome goal. You have it memorized. You're saying, this is why I'm doing it. Awesome. Why I get up and I take photos of stuff and I list it. And I told him, I said, don't compare yourself to anybody else. Now, when you want to ramp it up, like what you said, Adam, cool. Make those goals. Don't do it competitively. Do it because you're like, hey, I want to see how much I can maximize. What can I do? Can I learn more? Can I list more? So I love that. And that's why we were just supportive, because I think speaking your goals helps to establish stuff for people. It helps them to dream a little bit and accomplish a little bit. So I love that.
Now,
one of the things
I try to go ahead, Adam.
One of the things I try to point out when we do our videos is sometimes we choose to leave products behind that could still make money, right? And we do it on purpose because it may not be the margins we're happy with for what we're doing and why we're doing it. If you were doing it full time, and we'll say it in the video, if you were selling full time, you should pick this up. It's going to make you 10, 12 extra dollars.
I take those 12 extra bucks anyway.
Do I look like I have room for a stock that's going to make me $10 to $12? I'm going to pick up the stuff that's going to make me $20 minimum.
Make you 10 to 12. If
Look
it
at all
doesn't
those
make you
bins
10 to 12 bucks, then you lower the price, you send out your offers, and you liquidate.
Jake, you're selling stuff that's worth less than the envelope you put it in. Okay,
and
stop it, Jake.
$3.99.
And Gary once told me, if you got to think about how valuable your time is, and if it's not worth the time to you, your time to you, then don't buy it.
Right.
It's just it could potentially sit in your closet and never sell.
Yeah. It's like, how many times are you going to run that through the washing machine? That'll be worth the whatever that you're planning on getting. Oh yeah, it's a Patagonia shirt, but I mean, geez, it looks like the dog slept on it. I mean, there are some things that are worth leaving behind.
That's so smart, because I think there's a lot of talk going on right now, because you've seen 2020 be tough. I mean, we've seen it hit people economically, globally, with their health, their mental health, everything. But I've also seen resellers hit a new stride, hit a new gear, which has been really cool. And you guys brought up a good point. What I've been hearing kind of talked about is part-time, full-time. But then I love the people that are breaking down, this is what my hours are worth. This is how much, yes, I sold it for this much money, but from start to finish it, finding it, getting it home, that I have to clean it, what was listing, how long did it sit in my store? I've learned to love that, because it's teaching people, Jakob, it's teaching people to put, to put this down so I can sell this. Why? This is low maintenance. It's it'll go in an envelope really fast. It's not going to get broken. It's not going to get messed up. This, I have to check the liquid. What's the content? What's the weight? I think that's super smart for people to start to analyze, because you can get buy heavy and buy crazy.
I'm getting closer to the camera here.
I feel like he's talking about somebody.
Jake has inventory in someone else's house.
You have to understand something here. You also have to learn things. So in order to learn things, you gotta put your money where your mouth is, buy a few things to test out the market, to see and to learn and to understand it. For example, I bought a bunch of golf clubs, not knowing nothing about them. And you know what? I got burned on a few of them, which is fine. And I made a lot on the others. So I learned golf clubs.
Yeah.
And now I feel comfortable. Same thing with VCRs. Same thing with VHSs. Although, yes, I buy hundreds of VHSs and I know what to pick now.
Well, it's interesting that you say that, because one of the things that I told Adam whenever we were first starting is that he would say, "Oh, I didn't make any money on this," or "I broke even," or "I lost money on this shirt." I said, "Well, the thing is, though, you paid money for an education. Yeah. That's what you did. You were getting a college degree in eBay, and it's going to cost some to get that degree. So, and as you learn and as you grow and as you evolve in this, that knowledge is going to become invaluable, and it's going to pay you right back, many times over. So yeah, I agree with you, Jake. I mean, I think there are times where you have to take a chance. Adam and I will be picking sometimes in a store, and we'll even say, "I'm going to take a gamble on this." That's like our phrase too. Say, "I'm going to gamble on this. I'm going to see if it works out."
Right.
I have a feeling about it. Let's see. We actually we're going to do one thing one time. I don't even know if it's still on the table. Where we were going to do sort of like a blind challenge. Like, you got to put your phone in your pocket. You can't look at anything, and then you got to go in and sort of play Russian roulette with what's on the rack. And say, we could do just where you grab a handful of things and just take it up there. You have no idea what you've just grabbed, but one of those.
That'd be a good video.
If you have the time, if you have the capital to do it, which I think most of us, especially going into Goodwill, it's not. I mean, with the margins that we're making out of just one or two products, we have the capital to just invest a few bucks into like a random lot of. Don't do this, people. Beanie Babies.
Yeah,
like,
don't do that.
That example.
It definitely does do that.
Funko Pops, okay? Going down the same alley. But we have what to test it, and you know what? In my view, I'm testing the market. I'm feeling what I like. Yes, I enjoy doing VHSs because for me, it's a buck earned. For me, earning a buck, but I buy lots. For example, I went on an online auction and I spent $5 on a whole box of like Disney VHSs. Yeah, I'm gonna sit on them, but they're a box. It's one box over here. Yeah, it takes a little bit of room, but
I make some Disney black diamonons over here for you.
Hey, he'll trade you a trash bag of things.
Again, you're looking for diamonds. Don't come to me if you're looking for diamonds. I ain't giving you diamonds.
No, Black Diamond Disney movies.
Oh, Black Diamond. Yeah, the $1,000 ones.
Oh,
$1,000 for. Well, I just sold the Pinocchio for $1.99 plus $2.80 shipping. People, I made a buck.
Yeah.
Somebody out there is writing the book on how to launder money through eBay, and that's where you get your $1,000 black diamond sales coming from, or the $5,000 Lady Di Beanie Baby. So,
all right. So Jake, I got to ask you. You sold that VHS for how much? You just said like what, $1? You made $1 off of it?
So I've sold over at least 100 to 200 pieces of VHSs already.
Okay, and you made $1 on each one of them, roughly?
About $1 on each one, yeah.
Okay. How many hours did you put into listing and taking pictures and shipping those things?
So here's the catch with being full-time and being part-time.
I don't think that's a catch. I know you may only spend an hour a night, right, doing your whole eBay stuff. Because of your whole part-time, you may only do it for, say, an hour a night, right? But for that 1 hour, how many VHSs would you have said you sold? And was that worth your time? Worth an hour's worth of work?
So I agree 100%. The difference here is that, in my view, I have inventory. If I have inventory, I have whatever I have. I list, I make a buck, I'm good. Mm-hmm. Is it worth my time to make a buck? Yes. Now, if you were going to tell me it's something that I didn't like doing, for example, I'm a nurse. I'm a visiting nurse. So I work 2 different jobs. I work my full-time, my part-time, and I do reselling. My part-time, I choose to take on a case and to go to whatever case I want to go to. Now, if I choose to go to a case, I get paid X amount of money. That X amount of money is obviously worth my time. in the sense of I have to drive there, I have to calculate my time back, I have to calculate my time there, and so on and so forth. Now, do I enjoy doing it? It's work. And sometimes work's work.
Yeah.
I do it because I have to do it, not because I extremely enjoy doing it and I have so much fun. When it comes to reselling and when it comes to listing and so on and so forth, again, I have 170 items on my account. Yeah, I'm selling. Again, I had 10 sales over the weekend.
You have to use physical examples with Jake, guys. Okay.
No, here we go. Yeah. It's half hour in. Why are we so early at this?
Jake, you're looking at your inventory. You have a Pokemon common energy card and you have a pair of Jordan Air 1s.
Jordan Air 1s you have to clean.
Doesn't matter. Which ones are you going to spend the time to list?
Very quickly, probably the Pokemon card.
Jake, this is going to go for less than a penny.
You could sell that pair of shoes without cleaning them for reduce it by 30%.
Yeah,
and you could still get rid of them with no cleaning. With no cleaning.
How long will it take me to list the Pokemon card?
Jake,
it won't take any less time to list the shoes.
It would take me 2 minutes to list the Pokemon card.
And you'd get your 2 minutes worth.
Exactly. But I'd make my 2 minutes worth where the shoe might sit. The shoe might sit. And on top of that, between me and you, I'd rather spend the extra 2 minutes before I go to sleep to list the Pokemon card and say, you know what? You sold the Air Jordans only. I sold the Air Jordans and the Pokemon card.
But we're talking about your one part-time hour. That's what I was like. Jimmy agrees. Dude, Jimmy does really good. Jimmy's full-time. Jimmy did so smart with his Pokemon cards. Jimmy, I did see your recent what sold. Super good. He had a great deal because the guy said, let me buy all the commons from the Team Rocket base set. But you know which ones Jimmy sold first? All the rare ones. All the ones that he could list the same amount of time that were worth the most money. And then he goes, great, now let me see what I can do with the rest of them. You know why, Jake? Because he has the time to do that.
I have the inventory in the death pile that needs to go this way or that way. So it goes one way or another.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I like to be a little bit more choosy because I have limited space and I'm not going to rent a shed or anything or if I'm out of this room, I got to get rid of it. You know what I'm saying?
Steve.
If it can't fit in here, it's got to go.
Steve said it well. The amount of work is the same. So skip the cheapy items and source bigger dollar items. It's not harder. It's just smarter.
That's good advice. I mean, that's good advice.
But
somebody said it earlier. You can sell all those VHSs if you got them like for free or something.
Right.
But so putting money into something you're only going to make $1 off of, lot them up, make $15 off of it instead.
I initially started with a free box. That's how I initially got started with
a super good. I did that with used DVDs because it was a curb alert. A guy had bought out it was movie galleries. I don't know if you guys have those down south. They were like
we used to,
Blockbuster.
Yeah, we used to. I think when I was in high school was the last time I saw one down here.
One closed down. The guy went in the store, bought all like the return DVDs that they rewrap. You know, they check them, they certify them. He bought them. I guess he was trying to go to flea markets right when the pandemic hit. Dude, he started like gutting his shed. He was like prepping doomsday. And he put 750 wrapped DVDs on the curb and said, free, come get them. Wow, that geez. I went and picked up and I spent a night and I comped each one. I was like, I pulled about 250 out of them. That would go for $5 or more. Mm-hmm. And I go, now this is worth my time. You know why? I'm invested nothing but time. No money. I can list them. It's 5 easy photos and I stick them in a bin. Done. I just wait for them to sell. That's it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I'm not going to go source a used DVD that's only going to sell for $5. If I'm limited on my time sourcing, I'm going to run around and go, wow, this pulls in $50 and it was maybe 4 times as much as the DVD, but man, it's going to be worth my time to make this, $40 profit.
When we
you've also, back to Gary's comment earlier, you've gone through eBay College. You got those 700 DVDs. You now know which ones to look for as you go to Goodwill and you're quickly scanning the spines of the DVDs and you can just cherry pick those out.
Yep.
So that wasn't just time into 250 DVDs. It was an education too.
Oh, well, dude, I allotted all the horror films together, and I waited till like late September. I mean, it's just
smart.
It was like, hey, this will work.
Mm-hmm.
You know. But Jake, I think you're doing the right thing, dude. I think you're doing the right thing now. You're doing way better now than when I first talked to you and you were buying random boxes off of, I forgot what.
That's not happening again. I have 10 more listings to do and get all those listed and done. Wholesale Ninjas. I bought 2 random boxes of Wholesale Ninjas Target returns, and it flopped on me. But I have them pretty much all listed at this point. And now back to my death pile.
Well, I'll say I think one more thing on this is that, whenever Adam first started, and I was sort of telling him how this whole thing sort of works. I told him, I said, go by this rule. All right, either try to make 4 times on your money or $20. Go by that if you're picking up an item, and if it's anything less than that, I don't personally consider it worth my time. Unless it's something I'm very familiar with, or I know something's going to move really fast, then that'll of course be the exception to the rule. But that was my general thing: 4 times on the money or $20, and you can at least do those numbers in your head pretty quickly to figure out what you want to keep and what you want to leave behind. So,
oh yeah,
that's what I got started on was men's clothing, shirts, learning the brands.
Yep.
Yeah,
I'm in the middle of that right now.
You should watch our channel, Jake. We get a lot of a lot of stuff on that, especially the early shows.
What's up, Julian? Thanks for coming and hanging out. Yeah, and Jake, a discipline that I did, I used to, when you're getting into it, and especially when you start making sales, you are buy heavy. Because you're a limited time, especially if you're doing it on the lunch break or something, you will fill that cart up, and before you know it, you're like, I can't wait to get home and comp this. No. Emily was actually talking about it the other day. She goes, I remember my first time sourcing, and somebody reached over me. I was looking the item up. They already knew the value, so they grabbed it, threw it in their cart because she was looking it up without having it in her possession. Still a rude person, but the move was what I do. This might be valuable, goes in a cart. I go to the most boring section of the store, and I quickly look everything up because now I know before I check out, I can put XYZ back. Because I want to learn about it before it costs me,
Very true.
I don't want to leave and then be like, should I just redonate this? Did I just give Goodwill money that I'm going to give the product back because it's not worth my time? Which I do. I pull stuff every single day. If I have a big haul weekend, I have a box in the hallway that is take back to the thrift store.
Have you ever donated your own shoes and then go into that Goodwill a week later and you find your own shoes on the rack marked up? Has that ever happened to anybody here?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's happened. And I'm like, wait a second, I couldn't get $30 for those. That's why I gave them to you, So
yeah, I don't know. If I could get 30, they wouldn't have been a good one.
Right. Now, my best thing is I bought a pair of shoes from Goodwill. I bought them to list them. They were my size. I liked them. I wore them for 4 months, and I just sold them for $40.
That's fantastic.
On a $5.50 pickup.
That's fantastic.
They were Adidas tubulars. I was like, man, I like these. And then I was like, I'm tired of them already.
I'll do that. If I found I found a pair of Merrells, and I had heard a lot about Merrells. I've been reselling Merrells, and I finally found a pair in my size. So I tried them on. They fit. I kept them. I wore them for a year. Then I resold them. So
I'm telling you, where are they at? We got an offer on these Nike ACG trail running shoes. It's because we went to the mountains on a hike. So she said, do you have any size 8 shoes that I can wear
on the rack?
She wore them, brought it back, and I said, do you want to keep them? She's like, nah, just wanted to use them for that. I cleaned the bottoms, got an offer 2 days ago.
Excellent.
Use your inventory. But
absolutely.
I just did that with a pair of Keen boots. I didn't think they were my size, but I was like, man, these look big for an 8.5. So I tried them on. I was like, they're mine now. They're my camping boots.
Speaking of Keen, I just went to the Goodwill bins. Actually, new. They're not new Goodwill bins, but new for me because first time I went there, and the place was huge. And nobody was looking at the shoes. So I have no idea why nobody's looking at the shoes. I walked right by the shoes, and it was already time that they already took things out, and I saw just a whole bunch. I must have picked up 4 to 5 pairs of Keens. Like just sitting there. I'm like, all right, perfect. I guess people aren't really looking at shoes here.
Right.
That's weird.
That's a good pick.
But that's definitely a brand to look out for.
Really good question here. I know, Gary, you've been doing this for a while, so have you. Guys, I just started officially. I've been flipping like antiques and stuff for a while, but I just officially started in February this year. This is my buddy Aaron. Seen it uptick in sales. I think he just launched his store maybe 2-3 months ago. He found some good sleeper stuff, but he's wanting some advice. And everybody in the chat, if you've been doing this for a while, what does the first of the year look like for people that may have started this year?
Yeah, I mean, I've always noticed that sales tend to uptick, a little bit in January because people have spending money now. They get money for Christmas or, something like that. Also, maybe they didn't get what they wanted. So now they're coming on eBay to get what they wanted.
Right.
It's there's probably a multitude of reasons as to why, you see that sort of early uptick. I mean, I think, part of it could just be the season. I mean, it's the season of just buying things, and not to mention it's like it's kind of, dull and boring outside. So people are just online shopping all the time.
Right.
That could have a lot to do with it. But now I usually don't see any kind of slowdown like that. Of course, right up to Christmas, it gets a lot busier. You're going to make a lot of money then, but don't expect it to drop off that much.
Right. And I think it comes down to what you're listening to. I think paying attention,
absolutely.
Paying attention to seasons. I started in February, and I learned my number one, like bread and butter, it's shoes. I'm really good with that athletic shoes. And I came at the best time of the year. Yes, COVID hit, but as soon as everybody got out of like the 6-week stay-at-home funk, we're in the stride of like April. Guess what? Everybody was running, hiking. I sold a ton of Brooks, Nike Shocks, Asics. And then I was just like, oh my gosh, if you start listing the things that you're looking around and going, what are people actively doing? Has anybody pay attention and sell puzzles this year? Did you think that was going to be the number one seller for 2 months? No.
I did sell 1 or 2 though.
But you have to pay attention to what are people buying? What are they going after? What are they talking about? It's kind of staying in those networks of chat. So I like that answer. For me, I'm looking at tax season, what that's going to look like in January, February. So I'm learning just as well what to expect. How does it, how's it go? How's it roll? So Hi, Josh, elbow cough. Hey, Annie. Annie's, guys, if you haven't talked to Javelina Flips, she has the best heart, takes care of so many people. She's such a cool lady, I'm telling you.
Awesome. I learned about the puzzles too late because not that I didn't jump on it. I thought maybe it was just a weird fad, and then everything closed, right? So I started sourcing on Facebook Marketplace, and that's when I picked up a bunch of Thomas Kincaids for really good. And yeah, I sold them all like within a week. So
yeah.
See, the problem. Go ahead, John.
Go ahead, Gary.
I was just going to say, the problem with me in puzzles, I don't have the patience to put them together to see if all the pieces are. I guess I could count them, if I need to do that.
Gary,
but
don't do it.
Even with pieces missing. Okay, see, I've never dabbled in the puzzle.
I wouldn't touch them.
That market pre-owned, I said as is, because what I learned from a lot of people, I had somebody message me back, and they go, the puzzle is missing 2 pieces, but me and my husband have been in quarantine for 4 weeks. We had a ton of fun.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, there it is then.
They had nothing else to do. The only way they know there's a missing piece is because they sat down with nothing else to do.
Put it together. Yeah.
They got their entertainment.
Yeah.
Most people, I had no issues. I was looking for the only shrink wrapped or, new ones.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went to a local thrift store that they were like one of the first ones busting at the seams to open as soon as they could. And she had a stack of vintage puzzles, 50 cents each.
Wow.
And I walked out of there with, I think, 20 of them. I think the cheapest ones I sold were about $12. Most of them went for $30, $40.
Best time much you ever spent right there, huh?
I didn't open a one of them. I was just like, isn't this a really pretty picture? You should look at it on your coffee table.
I lucked out that my wife really likes to put puzzles together. So she's a school teacher. So her school's closed too. So she had lots of time.
Yeah.
So she tested all my puzzles.
You got school children to test your eBay puzzles. That's
Child
fantastic.
labor.
Speaking about being tested, My wife, who works in a school, and my daughters, who are in school currently, have to get tested every other week about.
Oh,
Every
Jake.
4 weeks, every 4 weeks.
Jake, I get tested every time I go in one thrift store. It's okay. It's okay.
You're talking about as in like
Wait, they test you?
no.
Oh yeah, I get temperature checked every time I go in.
No, I'm not talking about that test. I'm talking about the nose test.
Oh no.
Yeah, they ain't
So
gonna
they-
do the nose test.
They have to be nose swabbed. What'd you say? Every other week?
About just about.
Hey, that's super awesome.
Sounds
Panther
like
Pack.
PCR tests.
That's the way to do it right there. I do want to
Sounds like
share
some
with
virtual-
Aaron. He put in here. I'm on the lookout for the next Charlie Brown DVD. He contacted me. Like I said, he goes to my church. He plays in our worship band there, and he'd been watching the videos. He says we have stuff in the attic. He's been doing Reseller 101. He listed things in his home, stuff that he wanted to get rid of. Low investment. I'm not using anymore. But the guy was smart. He saw when Apple bought the rights to Charlie Brown, and they announced Charlie Brown Thanksgiving will not air. This is probably a month ago, because Apple bought it to where it was not going to be syndicated on public television. This joker went, I don't know what all sites he went to. He bought every Blu-ray and DVD copy he could find, and that man made bank on auctions on eBay.
That
Nice.
is deep analysis. I mean, that.
When he told me that, I was like,
leaves.
Yeah.
oh gosh.
Okay, so what was the average price?
Aaron, if you don't mind sharing, drop some
The
of the
average
sales
price.
that you saw kind of rolling out. And he told me he goes, yeah, they slowed down because they announced it. There was such a backlash. They were like, okay, you can have it back on the air.
Party's over on that one. Yeah.
But he just paid attention. He listened to the market.
Right.
He saw the cry of people. Hint, January 1st, I don't know if you guys are picking up full seasons of The Office or not yet. I mean,
What is it?
Yeah, I've heard that they're pulling them.
they're pulling it off of Netflix, and it's only going to Peacock. It's
Okay.
not a bad season of DVDs to pick up. I still sell the Friends DVDs for bank,
So believe it or not, I actually went to the thrift store the other day. I saw.
Oh, here it is. Set of 3, 75 to 150.
Nice.
Wow.
So I went to the thrift store. I saw The Office season. I opened it up. I saw one Friends, one other thing, and one. Just forget it. It's not The Office.
Okay, so I'll pay attention to that. I'm always looking at if I see a big rack of one show, like several seasons of one show, I'll really pay attention. I don't really pay attention if it's just like a single season. I did come across Scrubs one time, all 9 seasons of Scrubs. Unfortunately, they were full price. What was that?
I watched that illegally.
I mean, so
When I was a teenager, though.
yeah, well, I don't know if it's on Netflix. I don't know if it's on. I truly don't know. I didn't watch Scrubs, but at $4 per season,
Not
and
worth it.
I sold. No, it was totally
really?
worth it. I bought it $4 per season and sold them for $120.
Oh, nice.
Really, all seasons together.
All 9 seasons.
So it seems what I'm realizing. Not only, I mean, somebody picked up Buffy the Vampire Slayer once, and I saw another. I forgot what it was, but it seems that if you do see seasons packed together, then it's probably worth it. But you have to find. You see, for me, if I don't see a comp on it, I ain't picking it up. I don't like taking those risks. I just don't feel comfortable with it. Yeah, I know.
You'll risk it on a dollar,
but I won't touch this stuff.
but he won't touch a season of DVDs.
Our Goodwill, this was not a Goodwill. It was a local thrift spot that I found these Scrubs DVDs. But our Goodwill is they hired about 2.5 years ago.
Yeah.
They hired a new marketing manager or sales manager or something, and they're just outrageous on certain things. And if it's a season of a DVD of anything,
Right.
it's at least $9.
Whoa.
See, my Goodwill is I made the mistake. I'm really good friends with my local Goodwill. They know I go for shoes, so they do me well because they don't care about running shoes. But any Jordans or anything that come in, oh yeah, they're pricing those $50, $70, $80. I mean, they're getting bad. but they'll get an abundance on DVDs and CDs, and they'll start doing 4 for $1, 2 for $1 sales. And so that's when I eyeball the whole season sets, and I go, all right, 1 through 10's there. This is only $5 or 2 for $1. You know, I'm gonna do it. I bought all. It was a certain series of Stephen King audiobooks. Holy cow, guys! 4 for $1. I think there were 7 or 8 books in the series.
Mm-hmm.
I think it went for $159.
Wow, that's nice.
Pre-owned, you know. But that's when I'll go look for it, when I know it's at a really, really good margin, that I can take that risk, you know.
Would you be opposed to picking up 1 or 2 seasons here and there, hoping to make a full season eventually, a whole series eventually?
Like a card collection.
If the total comp that I can build, if I have the inventory space, which usually DVDs are good about that. But for instance, the Harry Potter hardbacks, you're not going to make a ton of money on each individual one, but that whole set goes for $80-$90. I know for me, it's 7 books. I need to get them for under $3 to make it worth my while. I'm not going to sell them one at a time, but I'm building that set, and I've swapped out books. This one's got a torn cover. This one's got a perfect cover. You know, I'll play that roulette with myself. We just completed the whole set, which I'm giving it to somebody for Christmas, but I'll do that kind of scenario. You know, yes, I will. If I know this has historically been selling at a high rate because of its rarity, or it's tough to get it all together at once. Yeah, if I have the space, heck yeah.
I came across a full set of actually, I take that back. I think it was 1 book short of a full set of the first editions of Harry Potter's. And so I tried to break them up and sell them individually. I think that was about 1.5 years, 2 years ago. And it was hard to get rid of them. But now, like you just said, they're selling for great. I mean, I can't remember who it was, but somebody on Instagram sold the same book I had, the first one I found, and he sold it for 20 or 25, and I barely got rid of it for 12 for free shipping. So
right,
market comes and goes. You got to keep paying attention to it.
Good question for you. Where do you guys do most of your sourcing? And I know you hinted to it a little bit, but just answer it for the chat if you guys don't mind.
Goodwill.
Yeah, primarily stores. Goodwill, and some of the local thrift stores that we have, Salvation Army thrift stores. There's a thrift store in this area called the Valley Rescue Mission. They're basically a church outreach, type community organization in this area that does, not just thrift stores, but also things like food drives and all that, food banks. So they use that to supplement their mission.
Salvation Army.
Yeah, Salvation Army, yard sales, different. And Adam recently has been dabbling a lot more in Facebook Marketplace for sourcing. So, and also some of the stores, like some of the major box stores like Ross, Marshalls, sometimes on occasion TJ Maxx, when they're running like their deep clearance sales, especially on things like shoes. Adam and I have been in there at Ross, and they have this one sale that usually happens. Actually, it should be happening around now, Adam. If not,
it'll happen in January.
Probably coming up. Yeah, where they'll deep discount all their shoes on their rack to like $1 or $2. And so we go in, and I mean, we're pushing multiple buggies, we look like those guys, it's like, hey, they're Christmas presents for next year, So,
but again, education came from that. The first time we ever did it, don't buy the size 18 football cleats, even though they're only $2.
Yeah, we tried that one. Okay. Yeah, I could fit my entire arm in those. I was like, geez, what do they feed this kid? But yeah, the thing is too with those shoes is we stumbled upon that sale. We were just in there one day, and I was like, is this price right, man? Because it was like a pair of soccer cleats for like $1.97. And I said, these usually go for $50-$60 easily, and so we, checked the price. Sure enough, then we were looking at the other ones on the shelf, and yeah, they were all discounted like that. And it's like, we need a buggy. We may need 2 buggies, and so, we started collecting, and yeah, that was a good day, Adam. That was a good day.
Was it a random day, or?
It was just a random lunch break.
Random lunch break day. And we said, well, because the thing is our where our work sits, we're actually fortunate enough to be, and I mean, literally right down the road from Goodwill, like a 2-minute drive. And then there's a Ross directly across the street from it. There's a TJ Maxx right next door to it, so everything is sort of right there in that area where we can quick pick each day. We almost made a schedule of stores that we would hit based on, what days we would have in our lunch break. And then,
right,
we would record a video in the car or something like that on the way. And, if it was one of the longer trips. So yeah, we kind of balanced it out like that, but that's how we primarily source.
Lunch break thrift trips. If you haven't made that video yet, you're not a YouTube reseller. Okay.
I know, right?
That's the majority of all of our sourcing, to be honest with you.
Oh yeah. No, I was doing them so much, and I was like, this is such an original idea, until I saw 50,000 other part-time resellers making that video.
Don't forget I made $1,000 in a day, video. Adam, we need that for a thumbnail. I mean, just because. I
need to make $1,000 in a day first.
Right.
I hardly have any content up, but my one video with my mask is at like 450 at this point. 450.
Mm-hmm.
And man, you're really helping that YouTube algorithm by not making another video. Come on, Jake.
That's what happens.
So when Jake made that video of his screen, you're talking about the screen mask video, correct?
Yeah.
I watched it and I was like, I think I got this mask in my attic. So I maybe that weekend, it was right before Halloween. I did go up there and got our Halloween tote out, and I found the mask, but it wasn't the version that he was talking about. But
at 512 now, 512 views.
There you go.
Jake's gonna put this on his tombstone when he dies. Just want y'all to know this. I made a scream mask video
that had over 1,000 views on YouTube, and I got 0 for it.
That was awesome, though. I rocked that particular costume myself for years.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I know that I had it. That's what's so sad is there's probably items we could talk about all day, stuff that you played with, threw in the trash.
Pokemon cards that I got rid of at this point, I want to cry.
I'll admit it. I had Pee Wee Herman's Playhouse and all the accessories to go with it back when I was a kid. I have no idea where it is now.
My mother's been cleaning out her house a little bit, and she says, "Hey, can you do anything with this?" And she hands me a tote. It's a proper size tote. All the Matchbox cars and Transformer toys I used to play with as a kid. So we're talking back in the early to mid 1980s, somewhere in there. So I should probably drop those. I'm tired of looking at them.
My buddy, when Pokemon cards first came out, he worked at Toys R Us. I was able to buy a case of Pokemon cards for $40 base set. I remember selling base set Charizard for $25 to somebody on the school bus. I'm watching that card go for $200,000 right now.
Oh my God. Oh, that's like giving away your Action Comics #1,
I was like, oh man, I made $25 off a kid in school.
And you were hustling that.
I hate it when I see it. I get very, very discouraged because I can't tell you how many cards I used to collect. I had boxes of them, boxes of holographics, of all the base set, all the original ones. And one day I said, I was a teenager at that point. I said, let me get rid of them. I just gave them away to my brother, who gave them away to somebody else. And that was the end of them. Now I'm looking at them. I'm like, forget it. I don't even want to think about it. No. I'm so depressed. It's so depressing.
It all happens. And yeah, Gary, dude, I was flipping and like stuff in school, man. I had a convenience store up the street. I used to buy a bag of blow pops, sell them $0.25 a piece. We had Coke machines in our high school, so I used to take Mountain Dews. They didn't, Mountain Dew was made by Pepsi. Mm-hmm. I could sell a 20-ounce Mountain Dew for $5 all day.
You know what? I think all of us, that's what I think what makes us resellers in essence. When we were in high school, I don't know about you two, but when I was in high school as well, from high school or even elementary school, I even got kicked out for selling snacks once in elementary school. We all have those stories that we were always hustling in the sense that we were always trying to make that extra buck.
It's the entrepreneurial spirit, I think. I think some people they have it, and I think they're born with it. Others learn it later, but I think that you're sort of born into this idea that I can take money and use it to my advantage.
Yeah.
So I can trade it around almost like I can trade around a baseball card, on the school bus, for example, or a Pokemon card in your case. So
Yeah, Jimmy was so mad. Me and him talked about this after Jake contacted every reseller he could find on Instagram and asked them this is his low-key bragging to everybody. He's like, hey guys, hey Matt, part-time pickers, what should I do about this mask? Hey Cat, hey Cincinnati picker, what should I do about this mask?
I didn't bother Cincinnati picker.
He was
I
allergic
bothered
to
Matt, I bothered Cat, I bothered you, I bothered Harry Tornado, I bothered. Who else did I bother? I forgot already.
But Jimmy told me this story. He says, I don't want to talk about masks. He goes, now he still made decent money, how he got it. But then he watched what this guy did. He knew the photos, he knew everything, and he's like, this guy just flipped my mask for $800.
I only made 4 in the end. Believe it or not, it wasn't Gen 1. It happened to be Gen 2 and a certain type of face and yada, yada, yada. I'm still getting comments on it through YouTube saying, oh, by the way, it's not Gen 1. I'm like, you're not going to get 800. I said, guys, it sold for $405.
Jake,
I'm happy.
Jake, you should have made another video right after that. You had all those people watching your video.
I did an Instagram update. I had to do a YouTube update. Guys, by the way, this is a month and a half later. I sold it. It's sold.
No, I'm saying at the moment.
He's saying you should have kept that going.
You should have kept the momentum of views because you would have been in their suggested video feed.
All right, let's get into this YouTube situation here.
Look at Ken here. He has 3 screen masks. Ken, they'll still sell right now, but prime time was about a month ago. But they're definitely going to look up inventory now.
Those other 2 masks, by the way, in the video, the Goosebumps ones, sold for $75 a piece. One on eBay, one on Mercari.
That's still good. You only paid what, $4, $5, $6
$5 for each one. I just walked in there. I thought I was going into this place for nothing. This place is like in the Bronx, huge, like one of the biggest thrift stores. Their prices are outrageous, literally. Like they just price everything up. And I was just walking by and they said, I'm not picking up anything from here. And I just said, what the heck? They just literally were dumping it onto the table. And I'm looking, I'm like, 1, 2, 3. They're staring at me like, what the heck is this guy doing? Like grabbing all their masks.
Yeah.
You got to do it. Hey, Merry early Christmas, Jimmy. So.
And you recognized them. I honestly couldn't say that I would have recognized them myself.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's
Knowledge
because
is power.
of a lot of YouTube watching. A lot of watching other resellers. Mountain Man. That's why I forgot to add it. Mountain Man directed me mainly on how to deal with this because he deals with a lot of this creepy, crazy.
Mountain Man was also one of your number 1 bidders on that mask.
Initially, when I had it up as Gen 1, before everybody on eBay started commenting, it's not Gen 1. Don't put Gen 1. The bids were over $1,000. The first day, I had over $1,000 bids, and I was flipping. And I told Josh, should I pull it down? He's like, just leave it alone. Then I had to add something to the description, basically stating that it's not a Gen 1 and know what you're bidding on. And Mountain Man said, these guys know what they're bidding on. You don't have to worry about it. These guys are collectors. They're not going to just randomly bid on something they don't know what they're looking at. I had people asking me, can you take a picture of just the mouth? I had to take a picture of just the mouth for them. So... and give me the exact measurement. I did crazy things for these people on this mask, and left and right, and even believe it or not, the guy who lost the bidding sent me an email afterwards. If the guy doesn't pay, I want it.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I agree. They know what they're bidding on. I mean, if it gets up to 1,000, shoot, they're precise. They're collectors.
Then people realized what it was because they read Gen 1. They realized what it was. They pulled off their bids. It then dropped down to $250, and I got nervous. I said, I should have just put it up for $800, and whoever bought it. I should not have done what I did. Now, looking back, I think I'm happy with what I did. I'm happy with the fact that it's gone. I got rid of it. I don't have the headache of it right now of like what am I going to make on it? Should I do it? Don't ask. Right. I went through a week of craziness. Just like, I want to max out on it. I don't want to just list it, and going through different YouTubers and just trying to figure out what to do. I had a lot of different opinions in my hand. Josh yelling at me, and I got rid of it.
He's directing you. He's leading you.
Jake, so you got a used VHS and you got a screen mask laying there. Which one you listing tonight?
Well, that's a course, but I have to have
Gen
that
2, not Gen 1.
I had that screen mask. If I had that screen mask, we had what to talk about.
No, but and you got Jake. You said something about it. Do you guys? And I know you said a little bit. Tell everybody what you list on. Do you primarily stick to one platform? Are you on multi? Are you using List Perfectly? What are you guys listing? Where are your sales coming in from?
I do eBay and CrossList on Mercari choice things because Mercari shipping is really odd. You can't do priority. I'm sorry, you can't do flat rate on there, and so I haven't had good luck with doing free shipping and adding, the priority cost. So I just do choice stuff on Mercari, and so I stick to eBay and Mercari.
Okay.
Can I bother you on it for a second? I'm sorry. Before Gary,
go ahead.
About that. Have you ever tried? Because with Mercari, with me, what I ended up doing, and I think I've had pretty much success with it, is going to Pirate Ship. I don't use their platform to ship on. So when you click on Mercari, there's the option to click sell and use their shipping option. You click on that and you click ship on your own. Yeah. When you click ship on your own and then you pay for it by yourself, you technically giving them free shipping. You add it into the cost and you basically, I'm in New York. I go whatever it will cost to go to California or Midway. I don't mind taking $1 or $2 loss on the product depending on where it is or what I'm selling, and just push it into the price, and I ship via pirate ship.
Well, that's what I actually don't have any luck on. I feel like Mercari has a lot of low ballers on there as far as offering is concerned.
Yeah.
So when I add in, if I do free shipping, but it's a pair of Levi's jeans, for example, I can list it for $19.95 on eBay plus padded flat rate shipping on eBay. But on Mercari, I can't do the padded flat rate shipping, and I add $7, $8 to the price. Then nobody wants to buy it.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody wants to buy it for $28.
Right.
So then they want to lowball me and be like, "Oh, I'll buy it for 20." I was like, "Well, you're getting free shipping. I can't really get rid of it for 20 for free shipping."
Right. So. What about you, Gary?
Just about all eBay. There'll be the odd time where I'll even go old school and throw something up on Craigslist depending on its size. Facebook Marketplace has sort of taken the place of that. Just because Craigslist is just, it's just a bunch of scammers and spammers. That's really all it turns out to be, it seems like. I used to list a lot on LetGo when LetGo was a thing. I think they got bought out by OfferUp, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think that they're an individual company anymore. My app stopped working anyway. So
it's got a lot of other scammers too.
It does, yeah. I would call them virtual tire kickers. It's like everybody wants to. Oh, do you still? What's the lowest you'll take for this? Can I come look at it tomorrow? Never hear back from them. All that is, it's not even worth your time, dealing with it. So I like eBay because at least it's a controlled platform with at least a dedicated support system to it. Is it perfect? No, but it's the best platform I think for a reseller besides maybe Amazon. But I haven't delved into that world yet, just because, again, being sort of the hobbyist, I don't require, I don't think, enough inventory to where I can justify Amazon at this time. Eventually, I think maybe I'll get there, but or maybe use it as another outlet to at least experiment in. Again, the cost of education, right?
Oh, big time. Yep. And you're right. You're right. I mean, whether I talk to so many people, which I think that's what eBay does really well. Mercari people know about because you watched a reseller video and they have an ad. They're just, they're good at their ads. They're good at
Wolford.
Mm-hmm. But everybody knows eBay. Now they still know the old stigma of eBay. They go, "Oh, you auction stuff off online."
Right.
But it has household name recognition. It just does. Yeah, like Amazon does. Amazon does because I can order it. I know it's going to get to me in this amount of time. I know my cost of good.
Mm-hmm.
Amazon's become a household name, but eBay's had that longevity of a name. Yes, you're showing them that it's different now. You can get new products. You can get vintage products. You can get all that stuff, but at least it does have a household name. The other platforms just aren't there in the household yet.
I would love
Facebook Marketplace.
I would love to really learn Amazon. The problem I have with it is just you're blocked on everything in the beginning.
Yeah.
And Jake, it's just going to make you go buy twice as much stuff.
Well, yeah, but if I could sell twice as much stuff and send it to FBA, what the heck, you know?
Because you need more time.
We had a really good conversation with the Buffalo Picker about Amazon, and we learned a lot from him. He's got that under control, if you know what I mean. And it really is. It probably is better than eBay if you can get into it. It's a lot more work too.
Yeah.
So I kudos to anybody who does it, like the FBA. When you go out and buy out all the clearance at Walmart or something and then send it over to Amazon, I'm sure it will work for you if you've got the time, storage space, and opportunity to actually manage that.
Right.
Yeah, I think that there's so many layers to reselling. I mean, you've got folks that, go pick storage units, and that's what they do, and that's what they resell. A whole show on TV dedicated to it. There are others like us that will do eBay sales, and to varying degrees. There's your Amazon folks. There's people that go, literally yard selling. I had somebody that was telling me the other day that they saw that somebody was selling antique lamps, and so they went and started seeking out antique lamps, and that was sort of their niche that they were reselling. And I'm thinking, I wouldn't have even thought of that. I mean, but that's
Crazy
cool if that's your niche. I think that's
one of the first 5 YouTubers I ever watched.
Okay, yeah, and that must have been the one. I can't think of there couldn't be another channel like that.
But that's yard sales, buying old vintage glass and antique lamps. Guys, if you ever go watch her story, it's one of her best viewed videos. But off subject, her business model of where she's at is my. So I make 90-day goals, 9-month goals, 3-year goals. Like I really write these down. Almost to the point where I want to look at them in the mirror. This is where I want this to be. That was the whole plan. Hey, I can't do this full time. I can still make YouTube content. I love finding the stuff. My wife is a task rabbit. She will run the day-to-day 9 to 5, knock listing, knock shipping. She will run this eBay company as a business really, really well. She has no interest she likes to go sourcing, but it's not her passion, She wants to sell the stuff. She likes the money coming in. She loves all that part of it. But if you ever get to see Crazy Lamp Lady's story she felt bad the first time she bought Carnival glass. Back before Carnival glass got all worn out, she felt bad. She knew the value. It was at a yard sale. She felt guilty until she started learning people's stories. And I was like, oh my gosh, I love the way your brain works. But because I've done that too. I'm about to get this $200 item this person's selling for $5. Do they know it? Yeah, and then it was like, I started learning that they don't care. That's why they're selling it. They want to get rid of it.
Yeah, that's right.
They're making their money out of it.
Yeah, I've actually thought about that too. I mean, sort of, is there a moral quandary, in taking something that is of a certain value, and then reselling it, knowing full well that this person is underselling it to you. But then I sort of look at it, this is how business works, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
that means I'm not going to go to Walmart, Target,
that's
any
right,
clothing store.
That's
any
right.
Car, I'm not going to drive my car. I'm not going to.
Yep. There's a buyer and there's a seller, and there's a contract between you two, and whatever you've agreed on to that price, that's a contract set between you. And as long as you're doing it legally, then you're morally bound. And so I'm good. That's how I justify things.
Harry Tornado just put out the video.
I didn't see it yet though. That's all the time.
You're stealing from poor people. And I was like, no, if you have a job, you're stealing from
yeah.
people. Give up your job. Let them have your job.
But that's a great title.
I hear that all the time too. My family members have said stuff like that to me. And I said, we live in a capitalist country. You can't justify that statement. You go to Walmart all week long.
Meanwhile, they're wearing a shirt from Walmart. That what did it cost? Whoever
37 cents to be made and shipped. Yeah.
Yes, and who is it made by? Are you stealing their labor? I mean, you could chase this rabbit hole so deep.
I've got it too. And I love what I do. I'm a little sarcastic, a little bit, so it gets me in trouble. But I've told family members, I go, you're right. Because Goodwill exclusively lets me in and no one else. They let me look up all the prices on what's valuable, get it before everyone else. I said, or wait, sometimes when I get there late, I'm in the line with 13 other people who had just as much opportunity to buy it as me.
That's right.
Because it's free to the public. It's an open establishment.
And at the end of the day, Goodwill is a jobs creation program, right?
Yep.
That's what they do. That's their organization's mission and goal, is to employ people and get them work experience and place them at different positions, with other companies and things like that later. So what you're doing is you're supporting a community to work program.
Oh, yeah.
It's almost better than donating to any kind of nonprofit, because of the fact that you actually know where your money's going.
Oh, yeah,
because you can see it. You're literally paying that guy that's checking you out.
Here's Sola Seller, guys. It's a good one to follow on Instagram. Guess where she works? Walgreens. I support Walgreens because she lets me know when they're having a sale for the weekend. So I support my local Walgreens employees to make sure they get hours, so I can buy snow globes for $20 and sell them for $55. Like that. I'm supporting my local business. I'm just waiting for them to run the sale that they were going to run anyway.
And hope they have some left over.
So I will say that CVS does give you a free scarf with every purchase. That big old long receipt that you get, it comes in handy as a, if you get a little.
It's 14 surveys in 27 languages.
That's right.
You're looking for paper cuts on your neck, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, the distance from the Earth to the sun is exactly like 10 CVS receipts long. So, yeah. But
I love the fact that it's full of coupons of things you're never going to buy anyway.
Believe it or not, before I started reselling heavy, I was doing a lot of couponing. That's right. That's where I started.
I looked into that too, and that is so much work. It is so much more work than reselling.
It's a lot of work, and being on top of it because things expire left and right. Coupons expire.
Except at Bed Bath & Beyond.
Don't forget to use your points booster. See, she knows. She knows. But yeah, I mean, I've heard that comment. My biggest rebuttal was I was like, hey, you know what it's also doing? It's providing a great meal for my 4-year-old son. It provides awesome stuff. And with my job, I love being charitable. I love blessing people. I love helping people out. You know what this does? This enables me to help more people in a broader capacity, in a bigger capacity. And I tell them, I go, cool. How about you give up more of your 9-to-5 paycheck?
Mm-hmm.
You make a difference. I'm creating more money to give more. I'm creating more avenues to do more.
I also see myself as somebody who's basically, I guess you want to call it a recycler. I'm basically taking something that this CD would have been in the garbage.
It was in the garbage, Jake.
It was in the garbage. Came out of the garbage, it made me some money, and then goes in an envelope and goes to somebody else who's going to use it. Yeah. So it's like you're taking things that one man's garbage is another man's treasure. You find that treasure and stuff.
Yeah, the thing is, I mean, yeah, you're benefiting in multiple ways. You're reducing your carbon footprint in the world. You're allowing more reuse to happen versus, like you said, just things going into the garbage pile, especially in such a consumerist society that
in America. Oh boy,
yeah, that's right. So, I mean, again, I think that a lot of people, when they make comments like that, I think it really just has to do with in a weird way, I think they're almost trying to ask you how you do it, and they're trying to break ice with you a little bit. And so I just educate them. I was like, well, I made this much by reselling this, and here's what I use it towards, and then they're like, oh, okay. They kind of get that, they get that little taste of curiosity about it. But
people, and it's weird. We celebritize celebrity, but we don't like success. That's a majority of the consumers in our great nation.
A strange paradox, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, oh my gosh, I love LeBron James and the 15 houses he has. And his shoes are amazing. But you made $20 on a pair of Asics.
Right.
A homeless guy. I was like, yeah, LeBron could have bought the company and gave all the shoes away for free.
That's right.
But it's the weird paradox. It really is.
Mm-hmm.
We celebrate idolatry a little bit. But if you have a slight bit of success because they know where you came from and now they're seeing your success, you're just filthy and wrong.
That's right. That's right.
The best story I had. Yeah, go ahead, Jake.
No, I just want to answer Heidi's question over there. Can you get a tax receipt from Goodwill? So Goodwill is basically for profit when they're selling to you, because they're basically selling things to make money in order to pay their employees. So they're for profit there. So if you can't get like tax off of stuff that you're buying, but when you donate to them, they are non-for-profit, so you can get a tax receipt from what you donate to them.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, you're good.
No,
you're
that's
good.
great.
Yep. I think what she might be looking for, how is she going to write that off? You go check out, I can't think of their names right now, but in the chat, guys, if you know, there's two very vibrant that I know of, tax professional CPAs that do content that talk about that kind of stuff. You definitely want to talk to them about your inventory, your taxes, all that kind of stuff. I don't get into it because I don't know. I've been getting my own advice on what my January is going to look like. So, but yeah.
Receipts.
And I like what more income.
Just keep up with receipts.
Some people just like being negative.
That is very true. Yep. Some people just like to watch the world burn. So
they have the can of gasoline. They're ready.
That's right. That's right.
Real quick, the embarrassing story I had where my family member told me that I was basically taking something away from somebody else who needed it by buying it at Goodwill and reselling it is I used to get into reselling breast milk storage bags. Okay.
Ooh, interesting.
When you get them for $1 or $2 per box and flip them for $10 to $12 per box, and you can get them in multiple quantities.
Yeah.
Still sealed in the box. I went through a series of maybe 3, 4, 5, 6 months in a row. I would just find them over and over and over again. And that's when one of my family members was like, some mother needs those, and now they can't get them because you're stealing them from her. I was like, well, she should have been at Goodwill 2 weeks ago when they were full price for $4. I bought them at half price for $2.
That's right, because you're the exclusive source on this, Adam. They can't get them anywhere else. Yeah,
that's when you hand them the buyer's name and you go yell at them for buying these.
Mm-hmm.
Like you need to yell at them for buying these from me at a higher cost. How dare them?
All right, that's the work. Oh, give me a second.
Yep. Work is calling.
I know.
Mute me if you can. Thank you.
That sounds like a rotary phone.
What's funny is he says mute me if you can, and he's on that side. Like that's Jake, guys.
It's all good.
That was somebody asking him a question about a mask. That's all it was. That's all it was. No, but so for you guys, you told your story, how you guys connected. I think that's really awesome. I like that you guys work on this together. That things brought you together. Me and Jake connecting. I'm a pastor. He's Jewish. It's like people are like, how did you guys connect and get along? We're like, we met in live chats. Like that's just what we did. And we love to pick on each other. We have a lot of fun. Our show's so much fun. But what I want to know from you guys, what have been some of your influences like in YouTube or reselling knowledge? Who have been some influential people for you guys?
Well, that's a good question.
Yeah.
I used to be a subscriber. I used to be a subscriber hog. Like I used to be like, in order for you to subscribe, I needed to be drawn to your videos over and over. I wouldn't just subscribe because I saw one of your videos. And I think that honestly, that's how I want people to subscribe to our stuff. I want you to be drawn to us, to enjoy our content, right? I appreciate all the subscribers we get, but to be honest with you, I really want to make content you want to watch. But influential as far as reselling is concerned, I liked. I mean, it's a big name, and Rally Roots was probably one of the first ones I ever came across when I first started reselling. And I don't know what they were at subscribers wise when I first started watching them 4 or 5 years ago,
right.
But I enjoyed watching Ryan and his videos on just how to start an eBay store, you know, look out for these bolos, things of that nature.
Right.
So I could honestly say that probably Rally Roots was probably one of the first channels I clicked the subscribe button to.
It's good. What about you, Gary?
There was one guy that I actually used to watch a lot in particular. And I know he's still active. I haven't really watched his stuff as much anymore because, again, I kind of got started with eBay kind of organically. I mean, this was years ago. And I just sort of sold stuff that was around my house, and that's kind of how I started to make a little bit of money. But I never really thought about turning it into something bigger. But whenever I would go on YouTube, Raking Profits was a guy that I used to watch a lot, and he would show like a lot of the things that he would pick. It was, your sort of basic format. All right, here I'm wearing the GoPro, and I'm showing you what I'm picking, why I'm picking it. I'm at this store. Here's what I hauled. Here's how I listed it, and then here's the profit I made on it. And I was like, okay, so there's a little bit more to this than just selling things around your house. That's kind of what the bigger message takeaway I had. And then he had some different tips and tricks for listing on eBay, some the usual videos, the top 10 mistakes people make on eBay and all that. And I got a lot of information out of that. And he was probably sort of, I think, the primary one that I watched the most. But after that, it wasn't really until Adam and I got into our own YouTube channel to where I started to pay attention a little bit more to some of the guys out there, guys and gals out there that are out picking and making a living at this. So it's kind of evolved for me. I mean, now I watch Harry Tornado's videos. I'm going to start watching y'all's videos a lot more. So Adam's made this introduction.
No, I don't have any content. It's okay.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, I'll add one more view to your Scream Mask because I haven't seen it yet, so I will do that. Yeah,
I'm not making any money off it anyway. So
Jake will make it easy. He's got a 4-video playdlist. You can watch it all in one night. No, but
sounds
really good. That's really good, Gary. I think Adam, you said it really well, and I think Jimmy even said it over here. He goes, "Yeah, Rally Roots inspired him." On the YouTube side, guy does really good. Does a really good intro. Get you on some clickbait titles. It's really smart. And I have to agree. Harry Tornado was one of the first ones. I started watching him when he first got monetized. I think that's the chat we met in, right, Jake? We were chatting in Harry Tornado's live. And then I was like, I keep recognizing this Yakov Benz guy. But
and then I think we should leave the story for their live, but
we will.
Okay.
But Matt, Part-Time Pickers. I found his channel. Guess what? I thought Matt was the most boring guy on YouTube, but I was addicted. You know why? It wasn't flash. It wasn't check this out. This guy, I was like, I had a pen and pad and I was going, there's no way you can sell this kind of stuff and make this kind of money. There's no way. It was a challenge to me. Not to go copy it, but to go, I would have walked by these 10 items any day of the week, and now I want to at least give it 5 seconds and do a comp. And I was like, holy cow. I think one of the first items I did it with were vintage pencils.
Admittedly, he's the guy that made me start looking at vintage underwear.
I'm telling you. So that was a big one for me, but for the YouTube side, I watch Off the Ranch. He does Demolition Ranch. Matt Carricker, he's over in Texas.
Yep.
I watch Off the Ranch because one of the things that I'm inspired by are people with their families doing not behind the scenes stuff. Some of the what you were saying, Adam, I want people to be watching my videos because guess what? It's my wife, it's my son. I have a whole video. Sorry, Jake, close your ears. I cooked a 8.5 pound pork butt, and I went through the whole process of doing the chain charcoal. How long I smoked it? You know why? It was
really.
Oh, yeah. It was food that I prepped for a family Thanksgiving. We wanted to do a different Thanksgiving. But I want people to be tuned in because this is who we are as people and a family. And we do this together. We have fun together. Family is a big value of mine, So I look for those kind of people as well. And if they edit really well and do those fun tricks, I want to learn that stuff. So.
Josh, it's funny. You actually bring up kind of a good point there where you say that, you want people to understand who you are, your family, and sort of be drawn to you for something other than just picking, Yep. And I was actually having a discussion with a buddy of mine today about, I had a friend, my wife and I had a friend, we'll still do actually, but she was on House Hunters, right? On HGTV, right? So. And the funny thing is that her episode was coming on. We're like, oh my God, her episode's coming on. We got to go watch it. And so we watch it. And we're watching it, and they're going through all the houses, that they have to pick. They give them those 3 houses they have to pick. And when they got to the 3rd house, I was like, hey, that house looks really familiar. And I kind of looked at my wife, and she's like, yeah, it does. And I was like, weren't we just there like a few months ago? Like we had a party at that house, and I said, how long has she been living in that house? She says she's been living there like 3 or 4 years. Sure enough, it was that house that they were looking at on TV. It was all staged for the camera. All of it was staged for the camera. And so the funny thing is, I said to my buddy, I said, the real irony is that reality TV is staged.
Yeah.
So, but why do we
just
gravitate?
Popped my bubble on the whole.
Sorry, dude. Sorry, man. I'm telling you, it's all jam. But the thing is that why do people gravitate toward YouTube? Why is YouTube the 2nd most popular search engine on the planet? Is because people actually want to see reality TV, and this is it. These are real stories, real people, real experiences, real families, real happenings. Nothing is airbrushed, nothing is fake. There's not a production team following us around. Adam, do we have the production team coming next week? I don't.
They're
think
always
we do.
in the bushes. You never see them.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
They're waiting for you guys to meet for your lunch break. They're waiting.
That's right. That's right. Follow us, guys.
You have to stay for your lunch break.
Yeah, so I think that there's a lot of merit to that. I think that with YouTube being the platform it is, I think it's evolved to some degree past people just making cat videos. Then it became sort of the world's biggest how-to manual, and now I think it's a place where people can get entertained by real experiences and have a genuine escape for something they can relate to directly.
Yeah.
So.
No, I agree. I experienced it real quick. My wife's beautiful. I married up. And I'll get the comment if I make 3 or 4 videos. I'll start reading the first couple comments. Great video. Where's Mrs. Flips? And I'm like, thanks, guys.
Mrs. Flips isn't coming this week.
I know. I'm like,
we're here for the ladies.
Sorry, but it's because I've realized I've introduced them. They know my son's name. They not to expose those things as content, but that's what I want to record. I want to record those experiences. Why? If nothing else, if YouTube never blows up, I have an awesome documentary on our life and what we got involved in 2020. I love it.
That's very true.
I love it. So,
yeah.
He said, Matt's got him selling blankets. Jimmy's another one. Jimmy, I just want you to know, me and my wife, we're eating dinner. We watch YouTube videos while we eat our dinner. That's what we do. We are already planning out how we're going to do our what sold like Jimmy. He has a computer in the same spot because he always walks by it to see what it sold for. He's got his table where he drops off the merchandise. He shows all of his cool insulated basement as he's walking. He's got this cool path mapped out. Even though that's just how it works for him, it's embedded in the content that if he did it different, it would freak me out. I'd be like, what are you doing? You're not doing your what solds the same way. It's it for me. I want to tune in because now he told me what his wife found, how she got this thing. Oh no, she got yelled at by an elderly man. And then he got some hats for free, but he made a good sale. I'm invested. I'm invested in him as a person. He's doing it full time. The wins, the losses, the struggles, the good stuff. I'm invested.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No, I think that's very valuable. I mean, again, that connection. People are looking for the connection. There's I think that there's such a genuine loss sometimes these days of actual family being portrayed, on TV and and people still want to see this. This is why Duck Dynasty took off, because it was family, and that was the show's not about hunting. The show's about family.
Yeah.
And that's what people really enjoy seeing because it warms them back to a place where, for them, they remember how their family is, or they want to see if their family is just as crazy as somebody else's. So, yeah.
And Adam, that one was stage 2. I'm just letting you know.
Duck Dynasty? What?
It probably was, yeah.
Hey guys, they didn't make all those millions just killing ducks. They did.
Yes, that's very true.
That one was closer to home, actually.
You are crushing Adam tonight.
The whole
absolutely crushing tonight. I love house hunters.
The fetal position.
The Kardashians are fake.
The Kardashians.
I actually think the Kardashians is probably the most real thing out there. No, I think they're the most. I think they are just legitimately that nuts. So I think they're the most real thing that's out there. Unfortunately, in a strange way, but
that's hilarious.
Oh wow!
What's up to Joey and Louie? Thanks for hanging out.
Joey,
guys,
bada bing. What's up, man?
I sold my Duck Dynasty Igloo cooler. It was a backpack that could hold a pack of 6 soda cans, and
Nice.
had their big old faces all over the bag, and it still went for $25.
Nice.
That
Like it
works.
still has a cult following.
Mhm.
By the way, you guys, the way I found you guys initially is I think the same week that we had Joey on, you guys did as well. We had him on Tuesday, you had him on Thursday. So Joey was putting out that he's going to see two dudes picking.
He had 4 shows that same week.
Yeah, 4 shows that same
Man,
week. I said, who's 2 dudes picking? And that's how I found you guys.
You would think he would have just released a new movie or something.
Joey's making the talk show rounds, you know.
Yeah, he was. The late night rounds.
That's right.
But yeah. So
Dude's full of energy.
What are some of your, because we always like asking this, what are some of your like guilty pleasure non-reseller videos you watch? What are some of those ones that you're just like, all right, I'll just give you the example. Jell L's Marble Racing. Dude, I cannot wait for those videos to drop. And it's just literally commentary over a guy racing marbles on a track. Okay?
Yeah.
I love it. It's just so much fun. But what's non-reseller YouTube for you guys?
Technology. I am a Android geek. I used to actually have another Android channel where I would get phones from Verizon and AT&T, and I would review them. I had a blog and everything, and then my sources just dried up like one after another. In 2019, they just dried up one after another, and I wasn't able to get them for free anymore. And I actually would start using my reselling money to buy a phone, to review it, and then send it back within the 30-day time period. And that just became long-winded, so I kind of put it to the wayside. But I still watch Android. I'm a huge Android geek. I know what's the latest and greatest phone from every manufacturer, even people you've never even heard of before.
So when I get those notifications and they're like, this date, 2020, we announce, you're like, you got it on your calendar. You're ready.
Oh, I'm seeing how I can get tickets to be there.
Yeah,
because they'll eventually give you a phone if you're in the door.
No, but yeah, I'm still stuck with my I'm sure you know, I have an A50, and I get the cheapest phones at a good price, and I call it a day.
Yeah, he still uses his rotary dial-up phone in his
house. I was just telling.
I knew that was a rotary phone.
I was about to say this. I knew
that was a rotary phone.
This is the work phone, okay? People, and I have it ringing loud so I hear it, and I don't miss my patients calling me at 11 o'clock at night. I can't even believe I answered that guy at 11 o'clock at night.
What about you, Gary? What's your non-reseller YouTube subscription, man?
So I've got a couple. There's one that I watch because I love Jeeps. I love off-roading. I love the outdoors lifestyle. I'm big into camping and stuff like that, right? And one of the channels I watch is called Light Bright. And they're a couple that they are they call themselves homeless, right? They make all their money off of YouTube, and they basically take their Jeeps and go bomb around the desert and meet up with other people. You know, as a matter of fact, to this day, they're the only YouTube quote celebrities. I'm going to put that in quote, YouTube celebrities that I've ever met in person. I drove 2.5 hours up to Atlanta, just past Atlanta, to a Jeep customizing shop that they were going to be appearing at, just to go up there and meet them. And because I was like, watch all your videos, you're really cool. Got to chat with them, you know. We get to talk about Jeeps and all that stuff. So it was pretty cool, you know. And it was weird. As I said to my wife, I said, "Is it strange that I'm driving 2 hours to go meet like some YouTubers at a meet and greet? Has it now gotten to that point, you know?" And she's like, "I think so." And then the other one is a guy. His name is Tyrone Magnus. And the biggest thing that I watch of his is he does try not to laugh challenges with himself. You know, of usually things like Family Guy and all that. And I'm the funny thing is I'm trying to play along too. So I'm sitting there just absolutely dying, trying not to laugh. And half of it's trying not to laugh at him, trying not to laugh. So, but it's just crazy. But yeah, those are probably my two most watched things on YouTube.
How do you guys make the time? So you see, obviously I don't have that much content down. Obviously my time is very limited. And I tend to put it more towards me listing. How do you guys manage your time correctly to have what for YouTube, what for? Yes, I ask everybody this question. What YouTube?
Change anything.
It's a good question.
It's a good question.
It is a good question.
I would say you need to find the time that you find yourself not doing anything. If you sit in front of the TV, that would be the time I would say. Not that I say that watching TV is bad, but more than likely, if you're sitting in front of the TV, you're not doing anything else. I learned to do all of our YouTube editing on my phone.
Same.
And so if my wife just turns on a TV show, she'll probably also have a book in her lap. So she's not really paying attention to whatever it is. And I can turn on something and just drown it out in the background, and I'll edit a video on my phone at the same time. So
but how do you say, okay, I list over YouTube? I mean, you guys aren't monetized either. So like what gives you that drive?
Adam tells me where I need to be, and then I show up.
I'm his production manager.
He is my production manager. You got to keep the talent happy, Adam.
That's why I always show up with a ice. Never mind, I won't say that. But it's just difficult, you know. I know that in order for eBay to be happy, you have to list so many things per day, right? Yeah. In order for that eBay to like you and to bump your stuff up in the search results, you got to list 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 things a day. So I keep pictures on my phone, and when I'm at work on a conference call and all I'm doing is listening, I'll list 2 or 3 things, or
listening right
somewhere
now.
else. Right?
That's a good thing. Yeah.
Somewhere else. I mean, I don't know anybody who isn't guilty of looking at their smartphone while they're in the bathroom.
Right.
If you're in there and you're on the phone anyway,
that's why I do Instagram
while you're in the bathroom. So
as long as you're not going live.
Yeah. I put the tags on this video while in the bathroom. Okay. I put the tags for this live in the bathroom.
There you go, in the bathroom. But so I prep all my pictures and take all my pictures on my phone while I'm at the house. That way, when I'm away from the house and I'm waiting in the doctor's office or I'm waiting somewhere else, I can just list 1 or 2 things. Now, I can't edit on the go like that. I have to be at home, you know, sitting comfortably to edit. I can't edit at the doctor's office, obviously, because you got people around.
Right.
But yeah, that's how I balance it.
Say, by the way, just cutting in real quick, the comment you just had up for Sal's Mercado, if you guys go and check out his YouTube and his Instagram, he makes these awesome customized tape dispensers. You know, if you haven't seen them, go out there.
Check that out. He got one.
Seen them. Oh, and is that
Tennessee
Volunteers? Oh my God.
Volunteers all the way, baby.
Oh my God. Well,
we got another one.
Moving on. Yeah.
No. Yeah, but you know, I love Sal. Sal does great work, man.
Yeah, he's actually making a couple for Adam and I, and on one of our shows, we're actually going to show what he's made for us. Adam doesn't know what I'm getting. He doesn't know what I don't know what he's getting. So
debating. I don't know what I want to get.
Told you, man, a dreidel or a menorah.
That only covers one holiday. Out of how many do we have?
Doesn't matter. It's the most popular. Yeah, Louis right here. Louis, we did like a little fun game night, and that was the prize. I said, "Hey, Louis, Sal's gonna reach out to you," and he got the Lone Star Picker logo.
Lone Star Picker one.
Nice. And I was like, "No, man, I love supporting Sal. Sal is another guy. You guys, unless you talk to him, you won't know. We had him on the show, just kind of chatting with him. He helps out so much with nonprofits and helping out in his community. You know, I love people that have that kind of heart, man. It's just that's what primes the pump to keep me going, man. I love it.
Absolutely.
If you don't mind, I'll put out a selfish little plug here. We do one of our shows that we do bi-weekly is called 15 Minutes with Friends.
Yep.
And that's how we've got to meet both of you. We got to meet Sal as well. Several people who have been in the chat. And truthfully, that's the purpose, is to get to know your reseller community.
Yep.
Not everybody has a YouTube channel. Okay.
Right.
2, not everybody really enjoys being on the video.
Right.
They enjoy hanging out in the chat.
Right.
And I want to get to know more people from the chat room, if you will,
Yeah.
And it's at like 15, 20 minutes at a time. And we'll have 2, 3, 4 random guests. We never know who's going to show up. Just whoever clicks on the link.
Yep. I did that for a little while. Jake and I did that before we started.
We still do that periodically.
Yeah, but we stopped because it got to the point where I was telling some people and they were like getting offended because I was like, no, I can't let you in the live anymore. You're a live hog. I was like,
I hear you.
But
yeah,
no,
but they only do 15 minutes. They could get rid of people and get people on for 15 minutes. Still good.
No, and that's super smart. I
Yeah.
love the strategy of it. I mean, I was checking out. You guys have a huge, and I like that you've built a culture of that too. Part of doing YouTube, and Jake, you were alluding to it. You're not monetized on YouTube, but you're doing eBay. Jake, unless you're in a prearranged marriage, you had to go on dates before you got married.
Agreed. 100%. I did go on dates. I did not have a prearranged marriage where
I'm not saying you did. I'm not saying you did. I'm saying we're speaking to anybody who may watch this in case they were. Guess what? eBay, you get to marry a little bit faster because you get sales. You get a better return. YouTube, you have to keep going on dates or else it's not going to go anywhere. You can't expect to just be married and get all the success.
No.
You have to go through the dating life. And you know what's even crazier? Is once you get married, you have to keep dating. They still want attention. They still want time.
I took a leap. I bought myself a 128 gigabyte card going in the phone, and hopefully I could just record random while I'm walking so I don't have to sit and focus in on what's going on the phone and what's recording, and I could just record, and then I could edit. So let's see if that works.
No, Ken and Adam answered this because Ken, I've tried this a little bit. I'm so weird. I can't do really good at this, but
yeah,
you guys are creating the drafts ahead of time. You're just able to already have either the drafts done or the photos done, so you can just plug and play, right?
Well, okay. So to answer his question directly, that's part of the photos I take. Is let's say I've got a shelf up here behind my head of a bunch of DVD or VHS players, and part of my photo session is I'll put it on the scale, take a picture of the weight on the scale. I'll measure it. That way I know the dimensions of the potential box I'm going to put it in the future. And I always add like an inch on all sides just to give myself room for padding. But I take a picture of those items so that I don't have to memorize them.
That's smart. Well, because I did it the opposite way where I took all my photos. So I'd get like, I'm going to list 10 things when I'm going to do it at work tomorrow. I would get 10 of my photos, do all those in one big batch.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would go through and I'd create or I'd sell similar.
Yeah.
So, to answer your question a little bit, Ken, if I didn't know those details, it's okay. I didn't have to submit it. But at least while I was there, I created a draft by selling similar. All I had to do was change photos in it. And then when I got home, I only had to change 1 to 2 specific details. And then I could go, boom, list this item, list this item, list this item, list this item. You can compartmentalize those 10 items. Great other channel to promote him. It's Wheezy Waiter. He's a fun dude. He did a challenge that revolutionized how we even do our home life. It was a challenge to do things in 10-minute intervals. I had never thought about this concept ever. He goes, if you have an overwhelming task, let's say your garage is really messy, work on it for 2 weeks, 10 minutes a day.
Wow.
You'll get it done, and it's not overwhelming because you'll make yourself stop, and you'll go work on something else. You'll do the dishes or clean the kitchen for 10 minutes. He goes, you don't get it all done in one day, but if you keep working on it after it's clean, it'll stay clean because you're working on it 10 minutes. I applied that, not just the 10-minute rule, but I said, these 10 listings, if I do all the photos, I didn't have to take a whole hour. Man, that was awesome. Now I'm going to create the 10 drafts. I can walk away. That was awesome. Now I put all of them together. Wow, that was awesome. I just did 10 things, and it wasn't overwhelming, and it wasn't a long night. I started compartmentalizing because I'm part-time. Because, Adam, you brought that up earlier, man.
Mm-hmm.
I tested myself. I did the same thing. I pushed, and I said, this is as much money as I can make with the amount of time that I can put into it.
Mm-hmm.
How do I grow up? What variable can I change in my pie chart?
Yeah.
I can't come up with more time. I can either sell or list better things, or I can pay someone to list for me, or I can come up with better systems to get better return on my investment. I cannot make more time. I can't. You can't create that. But I did. I had to test myself and go, this is as far as I can take it. This is the help I need from my wife. This is why she needs to do it full time. This is how we hit the next gear, so to speak. But I think that's super smart to do. What's the best you can manage? And are you okay with that? If you're not, how are you going to create change?
To add to my answer, is it Ken SSK promo?
Yes. Yeah.
Because I'm doing it, I can choose which ones I want to list. If I don't feel like I have all the necessary information right there with me to list it right then and there, I'll just skip that item and go to the next one on the list, right? But I mean, I just deleted. I probably delete over 50 something pictures on my phone a day because I'll do about 15 to 20 listings and then they're done and I don't have to worry about them anymore. Clothes are easy to do that way. Front, back, tag, anything wrong with it. Front, back, tag, anything wrong with it over and over and over again, duplicate. And those you just 10 ounces free for first class shipping. And that's all you really need to know.
That's good.
The heavy stuff. Yeah. I agree. You definitely need to know the measurements, the box you're going to put it in. And if you don't have it right then and there, save it as draft and come back to it later.
No.
I've made that mistake once or twice, too many times about one, I did a draft and accidentally uploaded as free first class shipping for a heavy object. It was like a VCR or something like that. And then just the other day, I was sending out a bunch of offers and this particular strip of offers, I did all 10% off offers for like 18 items. So then I purposefully chose 3 or 4 items and I went to go do the offers on that. And it was still on the percentage off option, not on the dollar amount. And I wanted to offer like this item for like 40 and I accidentally offered 40% off.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Luckily he didn't take the offer.
Nice. No, but dude, I feel you. That's what I did with my shoes. I have the same 7 photos I do for shoes. I know their positioning. I know what I need to get in the shot. And I know that 9 out of 10 pair of tennis shoes are never going to ship anywhere in the U.S. more than $9.99.
There you go.
I know boots go for $14.97 in California. So I know what I can put calculated shipping. I know what I can list it for. But until you get comfortable in that niche, I like that method you were saying, man. Take a picture of the weight. Yeah. If you got downtime, create that listing. You already got your photos. You already got all your info. You got the tag. You got the weight. That's super.
So I'm new at this part because Josh talked me into it. But I keep a notebook basically with everything. I also have like what I listed on eBay, what I have listed on Macari, and what I listed on Posh because I cross list. So so basically, I have the title, the cost of the item, and the weight. That's all the real information I need written down, and then everything else is pictures. I have all that information. I just get a sell similar listing, put it up 1, 2, 3.
He just started listing on his phone. He's been listing on his desktop for the longest time, and I showed him that it was faster to list on your phone.
I still really enjoy listing on the desktop more than on the phone, but it's faster.
Whenever you got to put in some major detail, though, you can always start it on your phone and then finish it on your desktop.
Right. Yeah. His biggest thing is he was transferring all the photos to his computer and doing that whole process. And I said, "Hey, man,
you're an Android guy. I still have an issue with it."
See, I know
the answer. Like, I already know the question you're going to ask. Let's go. I'm holding the envelope up to my head.
Okay, so when I'm getting the pictures from eBay, when I take the pictures, now I save the pictures on my phone. The pictures are saved on my phone. Yeah. Now, when I go onto the eBay app, I have to go into the eBay app. I try to hold down and select all the pictures. On the Android phone, it does not let me hold down and select all the pictures.
Yes, it will. Just the first one. Just the first one.
Just the first one.
Press and hold the first one only.
I hope
and then you can multi-select the additional pictures.
Well, I've done it.
Either that or his phone's so old and cheap, it just doesn't have that function on the phone itself.
Don't.
It's on all Androids. It's the eBay app. It's how they
a random.
Yeah, it's what I use on my I use 9.
Add a photo.
I can kind of see your screen.
Okay. So here, when we're selecting from the gallery,
Click gallery.
I click more. Now you see all these pictures over here? So I have to go further down because I have more pictures there. So I have to click gallery, then camera, and then go down. So now let's say I'm picking any of these pictures here.
Hold just the first one.
Doesn't select it. Just gives me a small vibration here. And then I pick one and that one gets uploaded to it.
Maybe it is just your phone.
I think it's his phone.
So that's a problem. I might just delete the app and reinstall it just to mess with it.
Have you got all updates? Yeah. That's one thing most people don't always do is update all their apps.
Well, hey, I won't keep you guys too much. I do have a Well, do you guys have any questions for us? I mean, I know we can save it. Let's talk about Thursday night. We'll be there 8:30, hanging out with two dudes picking. You can see Jake and myself hanging out.
Yep.
We will be
No questions tonight. They're all going to be coming out on Thursday.
Cool, cool. That'll be fun. Our closing question for you guys, we like to ask every single one. So you guys are shipping out your stuff. You got it going out. What's one thing that each of you, it could be literal or figurative, that you can put in every single sale that will make that person's day better or make the world better? What's one thing that you wish you could put in every single box or shipment or bag that's just going to make their day better or the world better? What's one thing you could put in every package?
The smell of snickerdoodle cookies.
Okay.
Wouldn't you just love that smell when you open up a nice package you just bought from eBay?
Used shoes. Yeah, that might be cool.
Or really hungry if I can't find any.
But no matter what time of year, especially at Christmas, the smell of snickerdoodle cookies, whenever my mom or my granny used to make them, was what just made Christmas. You know what I mean? So
that's awesome. That's awesome. What about you?
First thing.
I've got a golden doodle, and the way that he looks at you when you come home, and he's got this like really like bright look on his face, and he's almost smiling. I mean, you can see it in his face. I wish I could somehow make people see his smile, and when they open the box, that's what they see. Because you can't have a bad day after that. Any bad day at the office, he greets you like that, and
they can have the crappiest day. They open that box, and it's this beautiful puppy dog just looking at him.
That's right. That's right.
You can't get mad. You can't get mad at that. That's good. I like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
Even if the shirt didn't fit, you remember that picture of that dog that you saw when you opened it.
That's right. They may keep it anyway. It's kind of like when Chick-fil-A gets my order wrong. I just kind of think that they knew what was best for me, and so I don't make a fuss.
That's what you meant to order.
That's right.
No, that's so cool. So once again, guys, go check out the link is in the description. Check out Two Dudes Picking. Adam,
on Thursday.
Gary, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us on this reseller chat. We love it. Be sure to go out there, everybody. Thanks for hanging out in the chat so long. But go make the world a better place. Change the world with one sale and one smile. Make it all better. We'll see you later. Thanks for hanging out, everybody.
See ya.
All right. Thanks, y'all.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.